the makeup for tomorrow. We might as well just close our eyes and go to sleep with the makeup on.
You made me blush.
Go to Colombia. Colombia! Tell me, like, you literally sit down and do nothing and you expect everything. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I can't even say welcome back anymore because all my videos are doing themselves to me and to you. Y'all know me and I don't know y'all. I gotta get to know y'all.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
But the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like with New Year's, there's so many different stereotypes and stigmas and things like that of like New Year, new me, New Year, same me, New Year kind of changing me, New Year motivating me. It's so many different versions of you. So how do you figure out the best version of you and how to approach your New Year's? We're going to talk about that today. Before we do that, a quick get to know me. My name is Yamina. I'm 22. I'm from New York. Been on YouTube off and on for like 10 years. H to the N to the I to the N to the A. And then decided, okay, let's try it one more time. Let's try to be consistent one more time. What else? I'm in school. I'm not gonna tell my job occupation. I'm not a stripper or nothing, but it don't have nothing to do with what we doing here. Okay. My major is to be determined because we gotta figure out what's tea, and I'll update y'all in a whole different video. We using my glasses as an aesthetic for this first video, but they are prescription and scratched up. Yeah, we gonna get there. So let's talk about the whole stigmas when it comes to New Year's. I feel like a lot of people have this interpretation of New Year, new me, or a lot of people say New Year, same me. I feel like it's a new year, new chapter, mostly. Like, I don't feel it's something that every New Year's you're trying to become a different person. It's more of evolving who you are already.
Clock it.
What have I accomplished? What is the purpose? What are my goals? You gotta really sit down and do that. Also, especially with social media, we fall into like a space of kind of not knowing who we are. I don't really know. It's not coming to my mind the proper terms of what I'm trying to say, but low-key an identity crisis, I guess. We don't really know who we are when we're so basked in the people we want to be. Basically, seeing people on the internet portray themselves as who they want you to see them, that we kind of forget, like, we don't know these people and this is not necessarily who they are, the whole picture, the whole story. So then we hold ourselves to such high expectations of what we see other people do that we don't really know the truth. So it could be something simple as like watching people do like get ready with me and stuff like that, right? And they're waking up 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, which could be true, and then they're getting up. As soon as they get up, they do like 50 jumping jacks and they do a everything shower and then go to the gym and then take their vitamins and like do everything, right? And that generally can be somebody's routine. But then it's like, let's say that's not their full routine. Let's say they decided, you know what, I need a new video. I'm gonna post a morning routine, and they set that up, right? And then the next day, it's a Wednesday, they laying in their bed till 9, 10 o'clock, and then they wake up, they scroll a little bit, then they brainstorm their next idea for their video. Like, you truly never know what somebody's life is like, or somebody's like real routine, real schedule, things like that. So it's like we hold certain people to like a higher standard when it comes to social media and content creation, that we try to mimic that, and then we low-key fall apart. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're normal people, regular people, with normal things. Most of us work 9 to 5s anyway, especially now, me wanting, well, I've been wanting to be a content creator, but me actually tapping into that, I have to juggle working full-time, going to school full-time, and content creation. versus just being a full-time content creator, because I also have like other things I want to accomplish as well, and also other things I have to maintain too. Like, it's not like I can just drop everything and go. So I feel like seeing people do that on the internet can tweak and alter your brain and kind of make you feel like you're doing something wrong, like for living the average life almost. Like, okay, having a roof over your head, working a 9 to 5. If you go to school, you know, pay rent, pay bills, things like that. They start to make it seem like, oh, you work a 9 to 5 though. Okay, and so does your doctor, so does your dentist, so does your lawyer, so does, like, the people that are helping you and supporting you, lifting you up are the same people that work a 9 to 5.
Clock it.
But it's nothing wrong with that, and I feel like it's also nothing wrong with content creators, because essentially they kind of work 24 hours, but we can coexist. Like, I feel like I've seen too much beef and drama when it comes to, now that TikTok's getting shut down, people saying, oh, well, now y'all gotta get a real job. Content creation, surprisingly, is a real job. They make money. They put in the work, the effort. Some people, you know, they do blow up for some strange, quick things. But at the end of the day, a lot of them, most of them do put in the work to get to where they are. And we're watching. So it's like, you can't fault them for us watching them if you're watching them. The whole point of that rant was to say that it's not just about trying to mimic other people and their routines and the way they're establishing themselves on the internet with getting your life together with a new year, new me aspect or concept. It's mostly you wanting to be motivated to get up and grind and do what you have to do. Because you can list all these things, you can create your vision board and all of that, and none of that will come true if you don't put in the work, you don't put in the effort, if you're not closer to whoever you pray to. You don't have that connection going on with yourself and whoever you pray to. That's already dead in itself. Like, you're not getting nowhere much, like, if you're just laying on your bed. Because I realized that I will make vision boards. I've been making vision boards for years, and then at the end of the year I'm looking at that board and not one, maybe one or two things, but not one thing is accomplished. And I'm like, girl, what happened? I got lazy. I stopped doing the things I wanted to do. Like, even the little simple things that I've been wanting to do or that was been supposed to be had didn't get accomplished because I sat back and didn't do what I was supposed to. For example, last year I wanted to get my passport because I didn't have no trips in mind, because like, just the way everything is set up, it kind of wouldn't be ideal. But I did want to just get it. So I was like, by March, at March, I set a goal every month. So March, that was my goal. I didn't do it. Summer came around, a group that I usually go with to do like a volunteer work and things like that. Go to Colombia. And then go to Colombia during the week that I have off of work. So I wouldn't even have to take off work to go. I would have still been getting paid while I was in Colombia. And since I didn't get my passport, I could not go. It's things like that. Do your things that you have in your mind, because the way things are aligned, like, that would have been God's way of aligning, like, oh, I know you can't really put money towards this trip. I know you can't do this. So you're going to go with a group that you're comfortable with, who help you in terms of getting there and like cut down the cost significantly for you to get there and have a free place to stay, have free food. Like, that was all God's alignment. It was his version of me seeing like what you could have had if you did what you had said. So this year we're getting that passport. I am not playing. But yeah, that's like a story of you not doing what you're supposed to do and you not doing the goals you set for yourself, and how it really trickles down in your face, and for you to really sit down and notice, oh, I didn't do anything. And that definitely showed me, like, you literally sit down and do nothing. And
Are you pressed? Are you mad?
expect everything to happen. I cannot be lazy and then expect the world. Like, I realized that, and now this year we're definitely getting to the grind. We're definitely hitting the goals we want to hit. in the time we kind of set, or the time that God aligns us with. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this. One thing about it, you can plan out your whole life from start to finish. If that is not in the works for you, if that is not what God intended for you to happen, it's not happening.
Not around here, partner. Not around here.
Because I be wanting to like plan it. Like, you could set goals for yourself, of course, but also you have to kind of see the full picture of it too. Like, sometimes when you're doing so many things and you're trying to accomplish so many things, and you low-key kind of having a breakdown because you're like, why is nothing aligning with what I had planned? It's not about what you had planned. You just kind of got to go with the flow and insert little like questions and feedback, like, hey, can I do this? Should I do this? Like, that's kind of how it works. Because at the end of the day, you're just here. You was put here for a reason, and you have to follow that path, that reason, but you're not told the reason. Like, it's not like you born and then they give you your birth certificate and the reason why you're here and goals to fulfill before you go. They don't do that. So you kind of have to figure out everything on your own and make it happen. I also wanted to touch bases on taking your time. I feel like the beginning of the year, and also just as the year goes on, it's a lot of people that want to hit a lot of goals, which is good, but I feel like it sets an unrealistic aspect of taking your time and actually sitting in what you're accomplishing. Then they kind of just ignore their goals that they just like set and really like killed and accomplished, because it's such a rush. You know, it's such a oh, I got this, okay, next thing. You don't bask in the glory of what you just did. Not sitting there celebrating what you accomplished. It's not good. It's not healthy. First, we did it, but what's next? It's crazy.
Go, go, go.
Who's next?
And that's just me being honest. Like, that's a little crazy, especially if it's a big goal, and especially if it's something you've been wanting to accomplish for a long time. So I just think that's definitely not the way to go about things. Like, take your time, bask in the glory of what you're doing, and, you know, get better. I've seen so many videos in December coming to the end of the year where a lot of people say they didn't realize their accomplishments, or they didn't, you know, not be thankful, but they didn't really like congratulate themselves and be proud of themselves for the things that they're doing. And that is not a good way to live, especially in such a like a space where people always have their opinions. No matter where you work, what you do, people are always gonna have their opinions about what you're doing and why you're doing it. No matter where you work, it's always gonna be a negative spirit somewhere, either out loud or in secret. A lot of people can literally act like they're your friend and then just talk about you, or they'll sit there and like just be like, oh, why she's doing that? Why she's doing it this way? Why she's acting this way? Why she's getting this attention from this person? Speculating to like knock you down almost. It's kind of strange. It gets strange after a while.
Fight! Fight!
It gets to a point where you gotta stop being so buddy-buddy with people and stop thinking that a lot of people have your best interest at heart, and go off what you think, what your, you know, your aspects and things like that. Like, I have a habit of being unsure a lot about certain things, where I will ask certain people or ask, hey, what do you think about this? You know, it's good to get feedback, but also you never know nobody's intentions. Excuse me, you rude. You never know nobody's intentions. People could literally be like, nah, I don't think you should, this is the wrong brush. Okay. Yeah, people could literally be like, oh, nah, I don't think you should do this. Why? Especially if it's something good, and let's say you're just doubting yourself, they might see it as, oh, if she do this, she's gonna get this and that, and oh. Like, you never know.
Bombastic side eye.
I'm not saying go into 2025 like, get out my face, you're not my friend, I don't trust you, don't talk to me, don't speak to me. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that, but I am saying that at the end of the day, You can only trust you. Literally, people's families stab them behind their backs. People's friends. Like, you can only trust yourself. You can still hang out with those people and still whatever the case may be. Obviously, if they didn't show you a reason not to hang out with them. But keep certain things private. Like, even when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your goals, your aspiration, your business, your finances, sometimes keeping it quiet is good. Because at the end of the day, God is protecting you, yes, but that peace.
I'm telling you now, I have plans that I cannot share with you right now because the haters will sabotage me.
There's always going to be people everywhere that just feels like they need to take your peace away. And that's corny. You're corny. So we talked about basically trying to distinguish between what is real and what is not in terms of what you want to do. Like, is what you want to do, the goals you have set, is that what you want, or is that what you see other people have that you think you want? You really have to sit down and like process these things, as well as knowing who's around you, knowing what to keep secret. Sometimes I talk a lot. Y'all gonna realize, like, as the videos go on, this girl talks too much. I talk a lot, and I had to learn that yes, I talk a lot, but talking a lot about what though? Like, certain things I can talk about, certain things I shouldn't. And as last year went by, I really learned that as well, because just knowing me, like, if you're a very caring, giving, loving person, that is me to a T. And when you're like that, you have to recognize when to stop. Like, I genuinely was the type of person to give people my last, give them my all. Like, I will literally split my last like 50 cents with somebody. At the end of the day, what you're willing to share and what other people are willing to share is different. And I always say this, it's not about people not caring about you, it's about their boundaries. They set boundaries in place. So let's say their limit, they only have $50 left. They're not sharing money with anybody because that's their limit, the lowest they would go, to where they're like, okay, I can't give to other people. Your limit might be $1 and just get, I got $1, you need it? Like, that might be your limit, because that's how I was. And then their limit might be 50. So then when you ask them for $1, it's like, dang, they're like, oh, I don't have no money, I'm not gonna lie. And then it's kind of leaving you a type of way, because it's like, I would give you my last. But whose problem is that? Because I had to realize that was my problem. Like, nobody told you to do that. You could have said no. You have a voice. You could say no. You have boundaries.
No, 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 no.
Stop holding those people to such a high extent where you're losing yourself in them. That was me, especially when it comes to friendships and relationships. I would give my friends the world. Like, that's how I've been though. Like, I have messed up. I've been, on the end of being a horrible friend. I definitely have. But to those who I've been good to, genuinely good on my last. And I think that was a part of it too, since I had so many different like mistakes in my life. I try to make it up by being a certain way and being the best person I can to other people. No, you pray about it, you ask for forgiveness, and you move on. And that's what I learned to do, because now seeing what I see in terms of friendships and how my last friendship that I had, who I was like really close with, and how who I was like giving everything to, how that turned out, never again. Like, that literally, between that and a situation I had when I was talking to somebody in that same month, God said, I'm gonna show you. And he showed me, because I was like, oh, like, what do you mean?
I cannot have conversations with you no more, because I changed me.
I was getting comfortable with this one person, and they knew everything about me, and it just felt so good, and it was like that. God was like, that's love bombing, stop it. I was like, cool. And then like a friend that I've had 2 years straight already, like, we good, we sit, and God was like, she's on her own journey, you're on your own journey, y'all journeys start online, y'all got what y'all need from each other now, y'all can separate. That's basically what God, was like, hey, no. This is done. And I'm the type of person, one thing about me, no matter how long I may know somebody, it does hurt. But I'm also the type of person, give me 24 hours and I'm good. Like, 24 hours and I'm good. I've always been like that. So I could lose somebody And I never like to say, don't say that.
Don't say that.
I never like to say lose, because at the end of the day, if that didn't work out, I didn't lose you. Technically, you lost me because I was like a gem. But if I'm speaking from a godly place, we didn't lose each other. We just drifted apart and we had different paths in life. That's what I'll start saying. Because sometimes I do slip up and I'll be like, oh, when I lost this person, I didn't lose you. You lost me, honey. But like I said, I'm working on myself. So we're on different journeys and nobody lost anybody. Amen. I'll tell you one thing, that when it comes to your prayers, or like I said, I'm not trying to, push that religion on you, but at the end of the day, this is also my channel showing you what I do. But basically, your prayers and things like that, when they get answered, you can't be upset if they're answered. Like, if you ask God to remove certain people from your life, or remove people that don't intend well and wish well, if they remove the nearest and dearest person to your heart, that gotta tell you something. Something that we can't see, that God sees. Well, stop relying on people for your happiness and to reach your goals and things like that. You gotta get it. Like, if you don't have that grind mentality, if you don't have that motion, if you don't have that like drive in you to get what you want, you're not gonna get what you want. Because the people that you start with might not be the people that you finish with. Like, your friendships or your relationships is transactional, but also we live in a transactional society.
Clock it.
We live in a society where a lot of people think like, okay, what am I getting from this though? And it's not necessarily a negative thought. It's more of, okay, adjusting too, because a lot of people aren't like that, but they had to adjust because that's how people are. And you could stay true to yourself and not do that, but you might get hurt in the end, because at the end of the day, everybody has an agenda. Now, if it's a genuine like connection or a genuine feeling and it's mutual, the agenda was a mutual agreeing friendship or relationship that has respect, morals, things like that, that's an agreement regardless. So it's always going to be agreement in place, whether it's a bad agreement or a good agreement. That's what's in place. So it's not only that, it's also believing in yourself too. If you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you? Like, I have a habit of downplaying my possible successes by limiting myself. I could be writing my goals and then be like, that's too high, and lower it. Excuse me? Who said that it was too high though? Who said that that's something you cannot accomplish in this specific time frame because you think it's too big and too high? I had to tell myself, because I was limiting myself. At the end of the day, if I put in the work and I grind and I don't hit that goal, it's okay, because at the end of the day, I put in that work and there's some type of success or some type of reaching that goal that you got to. So let's say you set a date between, like, for a month, you want to lose 10 pounds. If you lose 8, why are you feeling so down on yourself? You still worked on your goal at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you made the initiatives to get where you're going. Your time frame just got to stretch a little bit. Now we do our vision boards, we do our prayer boards, we do our Q1s and Q2s and Q3s and Q4s. Yes. But some things do need to be stretched. Just because you didn't accomplish it in this amount of time does not mean you throw the whole goal away. That doesn't make sense. Just keep working on it. You're going to hit it, and eventually it's going to be exactly what you wanted it to be this whole time. So, basically, because I went on a whole rant, exactly what I wanted to say. Period. Like, from what we touched on, what we touched bases on, like I said, the whole idea of New Year, New Me, or New Year, Sing Me, it's new year, new chapter, new involvement. It's more of what you're going for. At the end of the day, you still want to keep your morals. You still want to keep the foundation of you being you, but you just want to grow. Everybody should want to grow every day, every month, every year. Everybody should want to grow. So you're just growing, but you also need to grow and watch the people around you if they're growing with you. Because if you're trying to grow and the people around you are not trying to grow and they're trying to pull you back down, you will not reach what you need to reach. It's okay to outgrow people. You don't have to stay in that relationship. You don't have to stay in that friendship. You don't have to stay around those family members. You can genuinely focus on you and remove who's not with you mentally. Because people grow people have different mentalities, people have different ideas. You might evolve, but you can't force nobody else to evolve. I've always said you can only control yourself. So if you feel like, okay, you're taking a less confrontational route to communication, and the person you're trying to communicate with refuses to do so no matter how much you voice it, they must go. They must go, they must find themselves, and you sit there and you take the route that you feel is best for you. Not gonna lie, you gotta be selfish a little bit. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta be selfish, you gotta be yourself, you gotta be who you aspire to be 100%, because if not, there's not more you can do. Yeah, clock that D. The makeup eats, mama. The makeup eats tomorrow. This is the makeup for tomorrow. We might as well just close our eyes and go to sleep with the makeup on. Okay, sorry. Okay, that was all for the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked hearing me talk, I know I talk a lot, please subscribe, like the video, and comment down below what is a take that you took from the video that really stood out to you or something you want to take in. And also comment down below any tips or vibes you have for the new year, as well as suggested videos, because I could talk for days. So comment down below what you want to see me talk about. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in and supporting me already. Love you, bye.